So welcome back. So we have seen how to create a project, how to create a model. And we have seen that there is a physical model and there is also logical model. So in the logical model, it is all about entities and attributes. Whereas in the physical model, it is about the table and fields and attributes. So the Erwin gives you both logical model creation as well as the physical model creation. So the next one, we are going to create an entity. So the hierarchy is like that. We have project, we have a model. Within the model, we have entities, and entity is equal to tables in the physical model. So we'll see how to create a entity in Erwin Data Modeler. Welcome back. It is time for us to create a couple of entities. So I will be creating entities under the logical view. When I go to the physical view, I don't see any entities here. Instead, I am seeing only tables. So we cannot create entities in the physical view. That's for sure. So let me go to logical view. I have option to create entities. There is no entities. So how can I create an entity? So I can right click on this left menu. Then we have option new. It gives you an entity, already create entity. So my entities are related to bank. I will have bank as an entity. Okay. Let me create a bank as entity, but that entity is not added to my model. It is just an entity here. So we can add bank to our entity later on. Let's wait for that. I will also show you another way of creating entity. So we have a menu at the top. The top menu, I can just click on it, double click, and I can drag that into my model view. So here I can give branch. There is a branch. Every bank has many branches, right? So branch is another entity. So bank is another entity. So this entity is not added to my model here diagram, right? So what I will do, I can also add this into diagram. So we have both bank as entity, we have branch as entity. Two entities are added. Now, what else? We have attributes for the entities, right? What is attribute? Attribute is the properties of entity. So how many attributes we can have? We can have many attributes for each entities. So let me create entity attributes. I can right click. I can select new. Of course, this will give you a bank ID. You can say bank ID is an entity, right? That is an attribute. Of course, it is added here, bank ID. We can also, so if you want to add properties from here, you can select entity properties, or you can select attribute properties. So bank has one attribute I have added. What is a attribute? Bank ID. So if I want to add a new attribute, I can add from here. I can give a bank name. Bank name is another attribute. Okay. Just attribute. I can also, I close this. So we can see bank ID, bank name. Okay. So I need additional properties. I can go add attributes. Here we can say address. Address. So we have three properties: bank ID, bank name, bank address. Again, I want to add some attributes for the branch. So what should I add? Let me go to the branch entity. I can say properties. Okay. This is the entity property. This is not the attributes. So I can expand. I can add another attribute. What should I add attribute? It is the branch code. So one attribute I added. Then again, I need a branch ID. Isn't it? I need a branch ID. Branch code is branch ID. That maybe we can use the same thing. Again, let me go to the entity attribute properties. I will add here. I can see location. Then I can add another as IFSC code. IFSC code. So we have added attributes for the entities that we created. We have two entities, branch and bank. So let me explore the attributes again. So we have a domain. We have a parent domain. Okay, that we will discuss later on. Parent domain. By default, it is a default. We can click on that. What happens is like we can set the types, the data type of the attributes. For each attribute, we can set parent domain. So what is parent domain? No, it could be data types, blob, datetime, number, string. So let me just select bank ID as string. Of course, when I select the string, you can see the logical data type selected as workr20. So this is not directly associated to any database. This is a generic string variable. Okay. Then bank name. Again, I can say string. Address, I can say string. Very importantly, you can set the attribute as a primary key. So bank ID should be primary key. I can select as a primary key. What do you see here? So this ID become a primary key. We can also set foreign key. Again, you can say logical only. Means physical is not applicable to physical. Then definition. So again, if you have anything, in definition. For now, for the bank, we have set attributes. Let me close this. So what happens, here you can see the change, the way it is appearing in the entity. The bank ID became the primary key and others are the normal attributes. So similarly, go to the branch. I can also attribute properties. I can set the types. Let me do all string data type. String data type. I can see branch code. I can see branch code as the primary key. Okay. So I close this. So we have seen to create an entity and set the domains and primary keys. Is that clear? So how to create an entity and set the attributes and set their keys. Okay. Thank you.